Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen. My name is Evenlease, and today on 10 Minutes More or Less Ship Review, behind me, I have the ESPERIA Talon, a fighter. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Welcome back to another one of my reviews. I appreciate everybody so far that has entered into that giveaway. It's a pretty awesome one, and it does end here on Friday the 21st, so make sure you do look for that on the channel. Now, I also want to thank everybody for being patient with me here. I had a really bad case of pneumonia, and so I was kind of fighting that and recovering. I'm on the very back end of recovering, so doing a lot better now. But was only able to get a couple videos out. I was a little disappointed in myself. I was like, oh, come on. I just couldn't stop coughing. But doing better now. So getting into it, this is the ESPERIA Talon, a fighter, which starts off priced at $115 on the Pledge Store, or you can buy it in game for $3,260,250. Which really isn't bad price point. You know, it's a bit higher than a Arrow or a Gladius, but you're paying a lot of it for the alien design and a pretty awesome looking one. It looks like a bird, as the, you know, the alien race that designs these type ships. They design, oh, my guy's like walking in the wind here. He looks all like he was being all creepy on it. They have a bird-like design, and it's just pretty neat. I think it's a very cool look and design element of their ships, and I can't wait to see more from them. Hoping we see some really big ships from them that have this design etiquette that are much bigger, like Carrack size or something along the lines of that, which would be really cool. But this fighter here starts at $115, and it is variant 1 of 2. The other variant is the missile variant, which is pretty cool. I'd say it's more comparable to the newest Saber Firebird. I'm a little what was the name of that one? Oh geez. But this one here is more or less like a bigger version of the Arrow, right, with less weapons. This ship starts off with only 2 guns, and it only has 2 guns, 2 hard points, and that is a total of 456 DPS stock. Now that's 4 size 4 light strike 4 laser cannons, as you can see. And then outside of that, you do have 4 size 2 Tempest 2 missiles, which are pretty much right next to the guns. Pretty cool. These guns are kind of hidden away. This ship is considered, in my opinion, a stealth fighter. Even though it doesn't specifically say stealth fighter, it incorporates a lot of it into the design as well as how it fights. This ship has a very low rating for the EM, as well as a negative boost to it. So that's really cool. It'll really help out if you're really just trying to get in there quick and hit and leave, because that's kind of what this ship's meant for, right? It's kind of interceptor in a way. It's supposed to just run in, hit your target, run out, and, you know, get back into the fight. In, out, kind of like, you know, an interceptor would. This ship is able to stay stealthy, and I really like that. It seems like it would be a pretty small ship, but this is just massive, though, in my opinion. For a fighter, this thing has quite the design length and size to it. Outside of that, it has 3,000 bubble shield, so you know, your typical shield around this price range, and of course it's a bubble shield, so wherever you get hit, it takes from the whole health pool of the shields. And then outside of that, it does have 18,730 health points, which I gotta, you know, tell you to be cautious about that, because the health point spread, and I'm going to show you on screen right now, is ridiculous. Like, every little piece of this ship has health points, from every little piece of, you know, wing tip here. Well, they call them like feather tips and all that. to every one of them. Every one of these has a health point. So that can really help out in a fight because they're taking these pieces off and they're not really crucial per se. But it also depends, because if you start losing a lot of these wings, that could be a problem. But it kind of gives you a buffer zone before it hits the main portion of the ship. So that's something to keep an eye on. And could either help or, be the downfall, especially since you do have a really big face on this ship, and the health points on the front, not the greatest. So always something to keep in mind when you're out there going in for a very heavy attack. Now, outside of that, of course, this ship doesn't carry any cargo, no cargo grid. It does have a personal storage unit, which is great. I believe you can access that here from the front. You can open the seat, you can open your storage, open your canopy, all that kind of stuff here, and it's pretty cool. As you can see, there's no cockpit glass, and that's because this fighter here uses more of like a camera system with a bunch of little cameras and like sensors on the outside, and creates a digital display on the inside, which I will show you here momentarily. Now, outside of health points and shield, which isn't terrible, it has quite a bit of health points, especially compared to like an Arrow or a Gladius. This thing is double the amount. It just, it's kind of spread everywhere. So that could be, like I said, good or bad type of situation there. Now, it has a pretty okay speed. It's not the greatest. Like, there's some starter ships out there like the Titan, which is faster than this thing, which is funny in my opinion. But this ship has a total top speed of 225 SCM and 500 forward boost, 260 backwards boost, as well as 671 quantum fuel for, not too much of a distance trip. So you got not the greatest top speed, not the greatest overall, really. But, I'm a little I'm iffy about the subject, right? Because it's like, you can't be the fastest thing out there as a fighter, I guess, even though that makes sense, right? They're smaller, they have big engines, and, they're meant to go out and strike, especially something like this with, only 2 guns and a pretty heavy hit to those guns, but still. Outside of that, it has a very amazing maneuverability. This thing flies fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and enter the pilot seat here real quick and show you kind of what the interior looks like, and then we'll see this thing fly and, face with a couple AI bandits, some bounties that we can go after. It's got the slowest animation to get in and out of the cockpit, by the way. Ridiculous. As you can see, you can have multiple hovering MFDs here in front of you, as well as all your buttons and everything, and then you got to wait for the the cockpit to close. But as you can see, I already have the digital display up, so it gives you an idea of what it would look like. A lot of little break aparts here, a lot of little screens. So it does make the, like, if I turn off right now power to the system, it should just go ahead and shut off, which is kind of scary, right? Because if you're in a kind of hostile environment and you have your ship systems off, I wouldn't want to be in here kind of and then not knowing what is out there beyond your ship. So always best to keep your power on and keep those cameras going. I'm going to go ahead and engage the engines and take off and go attack some targets. We'll take a look at this thing. Okay, so for this next portion, I'm going to be doing it with sound in game, so you can kind of get an idea of what this ship sounds like, and like especially the computer system here. It's very Star Wars droid, in my opinion. Roger, roger. I can't get that out of my head. Anytime I hear something like that, it just reminds me of the droids in Star Wars. So, we got 15 shots. I'm going to go ahead and put full power to weapons to give myself 22 shots. Light Strike 4s, they're, laser cannons, so it just really depends on the situation, if whether or not, you just hit your target. Let's see what we got here. We got Super Hornet Mark 1 and ESPERIA Glaive. So I'm gonna go after. Let's go after the Glaive first. I don't know why I thought that was over there. Okay, hitting it pretty good. You gotta be careful because you're gonna lose your weapon capacitors pretty quick. Oh my gosh. I hate having such a low capacitor on my guns. I really do. It bothers me so much. I love how they can just, like... Oh my goodness. I love it. I hate it. Love it. I hate it. Capacitors are the death of me, I swear. Okay, that wasn't pleasant. That was not my best work. I can't do laser cannons with such a low capacitor. It actually is very frustrating to me. With that, I'm going to give you my score of this ship, guys. It's a great little fighter. It's got a great stealth rating. If you like alien design, especially something like this, you know, why wouldn't you? This is just fantastic. And the sister ship just has a massive missile payload with less firepower on the guns. So it's kind of a win-win on either ship you go with, depending on if the missiles are working well or not. This ship, though, given everything, you know, great maneuverability, okay top speed, not the greatest. DPS starting, not great. I would definitely switch out those weapons. So some work there. Low quantum fuel amount, you know, pretty average for a ship like this. Overall, this ship here isn't, yeah, oh man, trying not to be, it's an 8 out of 10. You know, it's an 8 out of 10 because it's great and it looks fantastic. It's got the great shapes to it. But the health pool spread scares me greatly. It really does. And then the starting DPS as well as the lower top speed. Not all these things are kind of, it's making it to where it's not terrible, but it's not amazing, right? It's kind of just a little bit below that. So it is an 8 out of 10 for me, and I think it's still a fantastic ship. I think it's great, and it looks just phenomenal. Let me know what you guys think of the Talon down in the comments below, and I appreciate every one of you. You all are amazing. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.